days on the road.
Yay! We are in Florida.
Yes, and we are loving Florida. It's so warm, so much better than that 27 degrees at home. Oh my God, and it's 27. So cold. Oh, so happy.
Oh, it was like 27 degrees all the way through the Carolinas and stuff. So I hear.
Oh, so cold.
Yeah, as we were flying over, someone was like, it's still 20 degrees. And I'm like, no.
No, it's fine.
But when we landed here, 68.
Sunny Florida.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, I'm Jay.
Oh, and I'm Winona. Good job. Remember to introduce us.
Yay.
Professionalism is coming somewhere close.
No, it's not. You know, we're mobile, so that's never, ever going to happen. Professionalism is out the window.
But the pool is coming.
Oh, the pool is coming.
With sunshine.
Okay, anyway. Real simple. And the anti-thought series. So, and I thought divorce was bad with other life lessons. And I thought being grown up was easy. And I thought I could juggle it all. And I thought I had it all figured out.
Oh, yeah, that did come before that one. Woo!
And I thought I did my journey alone. And I thought he was the one, haven't we all? The Misfit series, Misfit Guys series. Misfit Guys Assassin's Way that leaves crooked footprints. Misfit Guys, Little Bit.
The Cocktail Forest and the LBD.
I'm on vacation, not really. I'm working.
You guys. Okay. And then me, I write the Little Debt series.
Little Debt series. Soon to be on Audible. You guys check out our Audible book and everything, and this workbook. Woo-hoo. And the 25 Hottest magazine coming out soon for 2019.
25 Hottest Authors, Artists, and Advocates.
And you guys start thinking about coming to the Inspirational Women in Literature, Media, and Journalism Conference.
And the award show.
Taking place on March 16. See, now you messed me up. I had a whole flow. But you guys can check out everything that we're doing on www.andwethought.com, our books on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com and Audible.com. Yay, that's exciting.
You're not here to hear about us, though.
Yeah, you're here to hear about our wonderful guest that is looking fabulous this morning.
Wonderful guest, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name's Linda Plunkett.
Okay, Linda. What do you do?
Actually, I'm a writer, and I recently published a book called Supernatural Rescue. That was 2 years ago in 2016, and that chronicled my near-death experience, my rescue by God, and many other miracles that happened to me, very supernatural things I can't explain.
Oh, my goodness. This sounds like an interesting book. May I ask, what was your writing process on this? Like, when you got the idea, how long did it take you to actually, sit down and write the first page?
Well, actually, my writing came from a journal, and in 2012, I found I had a tumor in my head the size of a tennis ball and had almost an 8-hour brain surgery. And after that time, I felt like a vegetable. It was horrible. And I said to my home health care nurse, I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do because I felt so empty. And he said, write a journal. And so the book actually came from the writing of the journal, which was from the very early days of my recovery back in 2013. And as I wrote in the journal basically became the first few chapters of the book.
Wow. Okay. So you had a great starting point. And I know you had to you were really thankful that that person told you to start writing a journal. So what do you suggest to other authors that are thinking about writing a memoir to start journaling now?
Oh, definitely. And I think when you have memorable events that happen to you, and it could be something very small. It doesn't necessarily have to be a big event. Like for me, it was finding out I had a brain tumor in my frontal lobe. But it could be just the day-to-day things that bring them joy, that bring them happiness, that are a memorable event, to go ahead and jot those down with a date and the time that it happened. And you'd be surprised how collecting all those thoughts can eventually turn into a book.
I have to ask, because I've talked to quite a few people on doing memoirs and creative nonfiction. And so they always say going from journaling, your thoughts kind of ramble and are disorganized. So did you have to do an outline before you sat down to actually write those first chapters?
Well, it helped me because, I did write continuously. And honestly, I'll be completely honest with you. After a brain surgery, your writing is not very good. And the first few days, I really could not read my own handwriting because my brain was so jumbled and it was recovering from that extreme surgery. But in time, those events did form a story. And well, obviously, you're not going to use every journal writing every day that you write down. But as you go back and reread them, you will find those highlights that will begin to form the chapters of your book.
Ms. Plunkett, do you do a class in this?
You sure?
Because you should.
I think I probably could. And I mean, I have many years as a psychologist. So fortunately, my events, and if you read my book, Supernatural Rescue, you'll see I do have advice in the back of the book. But that's probably, I could teach other people that, because it was an experience that I really did learn from my experience of doing that. And there again, I'm hoping to write another book this coming year, and I continue to journal and I continue to add to my experiences, which I believe will also add to the content of my book.
Okay, I gotta ask, because you did just say you were a psychologist or psychiatrist?
That's right. Yeah, I have a PhD.
Oh.
And I had a nonprofit
So
practice.
we should be calling you Dr. Plunkett. Dr.
Well,
Plunkett.
you know, my friends, I just keep it to Linda. I keep it informal, but I did spend about 15 years running a nonprofit organization where I counseled individual and also married couples and helped them with their issues, and also gave them spiritual counseling as well.
Wow. So you do relationship counseling on top of being a psychologist, on top of writing?
Oh, this is amazing, Dr. Plunkett.
After a brain surgery? This is why people with PhDs come out brain surgery just fine.
Well, I'll tell you, in the beginning, I was not so fine. I really did feel like a total vegetable, and it was a very slow recovery. But I'm happy to say that God did restore my counseling practice, and I did go back to counseling. But it was probably not for a year and a half after the brain surgery.
How did you get over that challenge? Because when you feel like you are incapable of doing something that you used to, you can't get back to your regular normal. It becomes such a huge area for depression, but you got over that, and now you have your own clinic and you have your own book. So how did you get over that? What are the top three steps?
Yeah, I will tell you, it was not easy, because in the beginning I couldn't even walk. I had no balance. I could not balance on 2 feet. It took me several months to learn how to walk, but after that, I felt like my brain was still totally messed up, and I went to a major clinic in the area that I lived in at the time. And I said, can't you test me? Can't you put me through some tests and help me recover? And the sad news was they came back and said, there is nothing we can do for you. And so after that time, I did my own study and I read my own books to help myself recover from that experience.
Oh, so it sounds like you already have another book there about, doing research and making sure that you're getting the best health care.
Well, I do. And I'm a big believer in supplements. I hope to put some of this in my new book. I'm not a medical doctor. I have a PhD in psychology, but from my own experience, learning how exercise, learning how brain exercises, mental exercises, but also reading and growing. Every time you learn something new, it does help your brain.
Absolutely. I'm a big believer in that. I believe in learning second languages, hence my silence.
Well, I got one more language than you. I've got 3.
I know you do.
3.5, because one is Braille.
Yeah, it's 3.5.
I'm still stupid, though, so it didn't help me at all.
It's not you just think in a different way. So, as you went from journaling to your writing process to publishing your book, how did you deal with that stress? Because you now had your counseling job back. How did you deal with that stress? And what are some of the things that you could tell women that maybe are in the same situation or work full time and trying to publish books? What would you tell them the top 3 things to do?
Well, one thing that really helped me, I did go to a writers' conference in Michigan, and you can go online and Google writers' conferences, but even though I had a PhD in psychology, I had never written a book, and there's a lot to know about book writing. So I would say attend a writers' conference if you can, and they will tell you all the how-tos. Also, I would say do not give up as far as getting a publisher. I was told the chances were only something like 1 in 50, your odds of getting a publisher, but at the same time, I was still able to get a publisher. So not to give up, to go on ahead and write your proposal, submit to those publishers. And if you don't, you can still self-publish. There's many, many avenues for self-publishing if you cannot get a publisher. but I would just say not to give up, to keep pushing. And if this is something that's in your heart and you want to do it, that I think that, God can still provide a way, even though the odds of maybe getting a publisher are not very great.
I love that. She's like, believe in your dream, the dream that you actually have, not the dream that someone says, well, you may not get it, so settle for this one. I love that. I love that
so much.
Although it kind of hurts my brand because, we did it originally indie. We did originally self-published, so.
But it's not a bad thing.
I'm joking. It's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing at all.
Find you?
It's, and the main thing is if you have something published, that's what I mean. I'm not saying my next book will necessarily have a publisher's name to it. I'm going to look at different avenues, but yeah, not to give up, and my faith helps me tremendously because I believe that God helps power me in my weakness and that I can do all things. And so you can't listen to the negativity of other people. You still have to believe and push forward.
And that also means the negativity in your own head.
Right.
Yes.
Sometimes you fight against yourself. Thank you, Ms. Lindsay, so much, Dr. Plunkett, for coming on. Where can people find you and your wonderful book online or wherever you sell it?
Yeah, the book is available through Amazon and also through Barnes and Noble. And I know that we're working on a website right now, so I'm hoping to have that up soon. But I always let people know I do have a Facebook page as well, and I'm happy to be your friend. And if you contact me directly, I will make sure that either to send you a signed copy, or if you'd like an inspirational speaker, I would love to come and speak for your group, and I can bring copies with me there as well.
Ooh, okay. Don't tell us that, because we have the Inspirational Women in Literature Conference coming up.
So
I would love to hear about that. I would love to get more information on that.
We will definitely send you that information when we get off. But thank you so much, Dr. Plunkett, for coming in and hanging in there. I know you had some technical difficulties even throughout the interview, but we thank you so very much. And just remember that you can watch Just Writing Life.
Yes,
I was getting there. You can watch Just Writing Life.
Our docu-series.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you guys, I am trying to wrap this up. And why is Winona interrupting the wrap up? Why? Anyway, you can watch everything that your lady is doing. Check out our audiobook and Just Writing Life and everything on www.andwethought.com. And just remember,
don't forget to go to the ladies page on our website and go to the middle, and then you can proudly support the charities that we proudly support. Now we can remember about wisdom. Is that okay, Jade?
I can't with it. So you guys remember, wisdom is all around you.
You're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys, from Winona. And look, my nails are done.
And Jade, although she's interrupting me all the time. Bye-bye.